Okay, Panzer J back with Italy, turn 11.6 in Operation Live and Let Die. Before we get into the Italian turn, just wanted to mention that on Germany's turn 11.1, they had lend-leased a fighter to Italy, and I had landed it here in Rome. But as pointed out by Fighting Irish and Global War 36 enthusiasts agreed, it has to stop in northern Italy. Excuse me. So I've moved that fighter back to northern Italy. Now on to Italy's turn. They have two tech rolls. So we're going to go for long-range aircraft and improved construction. Both require a 7 or higher. So let's get our D12, and we'll go for long-range aircraft first. And we get a 12, so we hit on that. And then on to improved construction, again a 7 or higher. And we got an 11. So we hit on both of our tech rolls. So we move up to stage 2 for improved construction. And we go to stage 1 for long-range aircraft. Okay, so that's it for tech rolls. Now on to purchases. Italy has $26 to spend this turn, and they're going to spend 25 of it and save $1. So what they're doing is starting construction on 2 fleet carriers for $5 a piece. That's 10. They're finishing off construction on a heavy cruiser for 5. That's 15. 2 infantry for 6. That's 21. A militia upgrade to an infantry for 2. That's 23. And then a militia for 25. So that is Italy's purchases, and again, they go ahead and save $1 for next turn. Now on to combat, and there's a few different things going on. So we've got this Italian fleet here in Sea Zone 53, okay? And that consists of a battleship, a heavy cruiser, a light cruiser, 3 destroyers, a torpedo boat destroyer, and 3 transports. So the torpedo boat destroyer and 1 of the transports are going to stay here in Sea Zone 53. And that transport is dropping off 1 of the mountain infantry in Syria into Cyprus. So that'll go up $1 for Italy and down $1 for the UK. So that's one combat move. Then the remainder of the fleet is going to sail 1, 2 into Sea Zone 80, and they're taking 4 infantry with them on the 2 remaining transports. And 2 of the infantry, which I know will be non-combat, but just to keep everything together, I'm announcing it now. 2 of the infantry are going to get dropped off in Tripolitania. The other 2 infantry are assaulting Malta, okay? And the 2 infantry that are assaulting Malta will have shore bombards with a battleship and a heavy cruiser. And this tactical bomber is also going to attack Malta as well. Okay. Then we are sending 2 infantry and let's send all 3 fighters into Western Egypt. So 2 infantry and 3 fighters into Western Egypt. And then we also have these 2 coastal subs here in Sea Zone 81 are going to stay there and convoy that British line of $6. Then this sub in 81 is going to go 1, 2 to 79. So is the sub in 80 going to go to 79. And then this fighter from northern Italy can fly 5 spaces because of the airfield. So 1, 2, 3. And that fighter and 2 subs are attacking the light carrier, the fighter, and the heavy cruiser for the British. Okay. And I believe that is it for combat moves. So the first one over here is automatic. There was nothing on Cyprus, so that Italian mountain trooper takes Cyprus. So let me go ahead and move Italy up $1 to 13. And the UK down to, I think Fighting Irish had them at 26. I had them at 25. So I'm not sure. We're going to have to double check, but I'll leave them at 25 right now. But if my IPP chart is correct, they're really at 24 right now. So either 24 or 25 for the British. Okay, our next battle, let's go ahead and do this one in Western Egypt. So you got 3 fighters and 2 infantry against a militia. Now, the ground units are -1 because of the desert. So let's just go ahead and roll the 3 fighters first. I need 1/6 out of these 3 rolls here. And I lost 1 dice, but then rolled a 4 and a 2 anyway, so I hit. Okay, so now the militia gets to fire back at a 2 or less and got a 9. So the militia is off the board. Western Egypt is now Italian. And that's up another $1 for Italy and down another $1 for the British. So Italy goes up to 14. The British, 24, according to Fighting Irish. Again, for me, if mine is correct, it's really 23. Okay, so that should be it for territories worth of IPP. So I won't have to keep going back and forth to the IPP chart. So then let's go ahead and do kind of working our way west. Let's go ahead and do these 2 coastal subs convoy rating here. So we're going to use black as the axis, in this case Italy, and red as the British. So the first coastal sub, again, black is the axis. 5 to 1, a 1 modifier for me, but nothing. So I get no damage there. And the second roll, rolled a 4 to a 2, so that's +2, plus a coastal sub adds +1. So UK should lose $3 to the coastal subs convoying there in C Zone 81. So now we've got the assault on Malta. And I've got 2 infantry going in, a tactical, and then this whole fleet is in that sea zone. So the battleship and the heavy cruiser both get to shore bombard. So the battleship is a 4. And look at that, we got a 4. So that killed off the militia without him firing back. So we'll take him off and land 2 infantry on Malta. And that's it for combat, besides this final battle here in C Zone 79. So I've got 2 subs with first strike at 3s and a fighter at a 6. He's got a fighter defending at a 6, a heavy cruiser defending at a 5, and a light carrier at a 1. So first strike is rolled first, so I got 2 3s. And we got a 3 and a 6, so 1 hit. So I would assume that Fighting Irish is going to want to lose the light carrier because the plane has plenty of, if his plane survives, he's got plenty of landing spots for the plane. So I'm going to take off his weakest unit, which is the light carrier because it only defends at a 1. Okay. So now I've got my fighter at a 6, and if I get a hit with this 6, he has to take his fighter as the casualty. And we got a 7, so we didn't hit. So now his fighter, and I will have to take my fighter as a casualty, a 6, and rolled a 12, so he missed with his fighter. And then his heavy cruiser gets a 5 or less. And we rolled a 6, so no hit there. So now that the first round of combat is over, there's no first strike for the subs, and there's no air superiority for the fighters. So it's just trying to hit whatever you can hit. Okay, so I've got my 2 subs at a 3, and we rolled a 10 and a 12, so neither one hit. And then my fighter at a 6, oh, I thought it was going to be a 4. Rolled an 8, so we missed. His heavy cruiser at a 5, 11 misses, and his fighter at a 6, and 8 misses. So both of us are missing across the board. Okay, my 2 subs at 3. and a 1 and a 6, that is. So I got 1 hit. And again, I would assume he would take the heavy cruiser. My fighter at a 6 rolls a 2, so I get a second hit. So both of his remaining units are dead. He gets to return fire. First, his heavy cruiser at a 5. It rolls a 1, so he gets a hit. And his fighter at a 6 gets a 2, gets another hit. So I'm going to go ahead and lose both of my submarines for his hits. Take off his heavy cruiser and his fighter. And that is the last of the combat moves. So now, non-combat. Okay, so this fighter that took part in the battle in C-Zone 79 has flown 3 spaces. Okay, it can fly a total of 5 because it came from an airbase. So it's going to go 4 back to C-Zone 80 and then 5 into Tripolitania. Okay, then the 3 fighters that took part in Western Egypt are all going to fly. They went 1, 2, 3. They're going to all fly to Tripolitania as well. And then the tactical was from Cyrenaica 1, 2 to Malta, 3, 4 till Tripolitania. The 2 infantry that were here in C-Zone 80 on that transport, both of these guys get dropped off in Tripolitania, and I'll have to take this chip and grab a regular infantry real quick. Should have probably grabbed that ahead of time. Okay, so those 2 infantry are there. And then this infantry in Iraq is going to move 1 over to Syria. And I believe that is it for non-combat. Okay, so that should do it for Italy here on turn 11 besides unit placement. So we got to take our 2 fleet carriers we started production on and put both of those here in stage 3 on the production chart. So they're both, each of those are now 2 stages away from completion. The heavy cruiser is going to be placed up here in C-Zone 50 outside of Rome. Our 2 regular infantry we purchased are going to be put down in northern Italy. And the 1 infantry upgrade is going to be for the militia in Cyrenaica. So take him off and put an infantry down in its place. And the 1 militia we're purchasing is going to go down in Syria. And that should do Italy's turn, I believe. Okay, so not that Italy has a lot of units on the board, but let's just recap a little bit what's where so that my opponents know. Okay, so in Abyssinia, we have 3 militia and a fighter. In Syria, we've got an infantry, a mountain infantry, and a militia. Cyprus has a mountain infantry, and in that C-Zone 53 is a transport and a torpedo boat destroyer. Down here in C-Zone 81 are 2 coastal subs. There's 2 infantry in Western Egypt and 2 infantry in Cyrenaica. In Tripolitania, there's 2 infantry, 1 motorized infantry, 4 fighters, and 1 tactical. In C-Zone 80, there is a battleship, a heavy cruiser, a light cruiser, 3 destroyers, and 2 transports. There's a couple of infantry on Malta, and Northern Italy has 2 infantry, and Rome has 3 militia. And that should do it for Italy turn 11.6. Oh, well, I almost forgot. We got to do our income now. So Italy does have wartime economy. Let's roll our 2 D6s. And we rolled a whopping 4. Italy's at $14 plus that 4, so that's 18. And I believe they have just a single wartime bonus. But let's just double check. They don't have Gibraltar. They don't have the Suez. They do have no enemy warships in the Med, so +2. So that's $20 altogether Italy collects this turn. And they had $1 left over. So that gives Italy $21 to spend on turn number 12. We'll see you guys at the beginning of turn number 12 for Germany 12.1.